Yo,
Welcome.
everyone's Tay even made it.
All right, Nina.
It's your intervention today. Tay, it's your intervention today.
It's what is that? My roast.
Your roast. You'll be a new woman in about an hour.
Good. Thank you.
Tom Porter made it. You are my idol. Man is a myth. He's a legend. He's about to go water. He's going to film this while he's water skiing. Watch this today.
Tom Porter. Woo!
He doesn't know he's muted. He just talks out. Unmute yourself.
How about now?
Perfect.
There we go.
Next time I want you holding your phone while you're water skiing.
I've got like 1 bar of cell service, so we'll see how this goes.
Seriously, I want you while you're water skiing.
Yeah, I've missed the last few weeks. I wanted to try and get in for a little bit at least.
Really? Wow. I want to thank you. Your buddy called, the firefighter, your buddy Rob, he called me yesterday. So I spoke to him for a little while. Yeah, good people. Thank you.
Good deal. Yeah, absolutely. He's a good guy.
Yeah.
He's ready to go do some stuff too. So.
Yeah, he told me he has some stories to tell me when the two of you work together. So that's my next conversation.
Uh-oh. He does. We worked together for quite a while. So.
I know those firefighter stories.
They're interesting.
Yeah, I know. That pole at the station.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Alex, what's up, Alex?
What's up, everybody from LA?
We got Loretta and Jim on the Big Island. You guys preparing for the storm?
Oh yeah.
Alex, happy Friday, man.
Happy Friday, dude.
Zasha.
We got a storm coming over here in Hawaii.
I know.
Make sure you got insurance on all your properties.
Supposed to hit Oahu, Core?
I think the whole chain.
Really? When's it supposed to hit?
This weekend. But it sounds like it's dying down. I don't know the latest, to be honest. But, Category 3.
Wow.
Tom.
Where's our Alex? Where's Alexander?
The stud is right
here,
there.
man. Look at
Bottom
this
right.
stud. Look at this. I love your hair, bro. It looks great. All I know is Tom has the best background right now.
Always does.
That river, man. Jeez. What I'm talking about.
Corey has a haircut tonight at 6:30. I'm trying to do it before coffee talk.
Corey? No, Corey, dude, I like it, bro.
Yeah.
I like it like that. You just got to slick it back, dude. It looks good.
Too much hair.
It looks good, bro.
I agree, Corey. I think it looks good. You look very mature.
Hey, there you go.
Ashley hates it, so whatever she says goes. So whatever.
A mohawk would
probably
do.
coming off, guys.
I hate it. I don't hate it. I think it's lovely. I think it's amazing.
A little mohawk would do well for you, I think.
I'm losing reception.
You're losing people now. Losing people with the mohawk thing. I don't know.
Let's see. I have a tendency.
Okay, I'm back. Kind of cut out for a second. Okay, should we? Is there a lot of people? Who's letting people in? Justin, are you letting people in? Okay. Yeah. Should we wait a little while longer? Or?
We got 36 so far, I think, around. Yeah.
Rock and roll.
Yeah, we can get it rolling.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm on.
Awesome. Oh, Kiko may or may not make it on the call. He's out and about gallivanting the nation again. So
he's in Fresno.
Yeah, he's in Fresno right now. He was in Vegas a couple of days ago, or a few days ago. But thanks again, everybody, for jumping on another Friday. Today's actually going to be an interesting one. We're going to be focusing on helping just one of our, special people that come on every week who's in the Facebook groups and stuff. So and that's Te Jacobson over there. And so the goal today, I think, is what we want to do is direct all of our attention and resources and time into helping Te in whatever stage of her career she's at right now, and putting all of our heads together into lifting her, helping her get to the next level. And then maybe every week we can put this as a segment. Today I kind of wanted to test it out and kind of put it at the forefront just in case it does run long, just to gauge, timing on it. But I think it would be a great thing to do every week if we can. We may not be able to if it takes a long time, but anyways, we'll see how this goes, and hopefully, Te, you can get everything that you need. I know for a fact that, because I know a lot of the people on this call, and with that, there's a lot of resources in this room. There's a lot of money in this room that needs to be placed. There's a lot of tools, that everyone has, and it's if it's not you directly, it's someone that you can connect Te with, but we're here to help Te today. Okay. And, but with that said, why don't we start off with leads, needs, and good deeds? Anybody got anything? Oh, actually, stop. Before we do that, Scott, why don't you, because I know Scott, you have to kind of mute out midway through the call, but we do have something to share with everybody, because we have the space is changing in the financing side. So the market's opening up again. There's products coming back, loan products coming back that are favorable for all of us on the call. So Scott, why don't you talk about what's new?
Yeah. Great. Yeah, we got some great news today. One of our capital partners, as well as Goldman Sachs, is helping us out with this one. But we have a 30-year product, and within that 30, you can go 30 years. If you have like a 740 FICO, you're looking at rates right around 7%. But the best part about that, we can go up to 75% on a purchase, 75% on rate and term refis, and 70% on cash out refis. And the best product we have, and the only one that's out there, is we have a 10-year interest-only product. So you can convert that into a 30-year after 10 years, but a lot of people are taking advantage of that 10 years interest-only. It makes your DSCR great, because you're only using the interest, no taxes, no insurance, stuff like that. So
okay, so
no principal.
For people who don't know, you want to explain DSCR, the debt service coverage ratio?
Yeah, you can go. Yeah, you can go over that call right now. I'm just looking up one thing. Just go over the debt service right now. I'm sorry. I'm just looking up.
It's basically the ratio between the monthly income and the debt that has to be paid every month, right? So, we have to be mindful of that, because a lot of the lenders, especially our capital partners, for anything long term, they look at the DSCR. What was the? Do you know the minimum?
It's a 1.25 minimum.
1.25.
Yeah, and I just was checking one thing. We can do 2 to 4 family as well on this product. All right, there's a little bit of a bump, like a 1/4 of a point. All right, we can go as low as a 680 credit score. What else good stuff is it? We could do a 3-year arm, a 5-year, and a 7. It's the prepayment penalties are 3%, 2%, and 1%. But the number one product out there that's flying off the shelves is that 10-year interest-only product right now. So it's something that you guys want to look into. Send me a message. I'll get you all the numbers you need on something like this. So
Perfect. Okay.
Scott, did you say that was 7%?
right now, yeah. Well, it starts at a 740 credit score. You can go at 75% on just a straight 3-year arm. I can go to 6 1/4. It goes up to 7% on a 30-year, and it goes up to, on a 10-year interest only, you're looking at, it goes up to 7% with a 740 FICO.
What about the 680 FICO?
680 FICO, you're looking, starting rate is about 7%. That's about 7 3/4. The bump's about 3/4 of a point on the interest only product.
Hey Tom, can you mute yourself? The wind keeps picking up where on that beautiful balcony of yours.
So it's important to know that for guys who are looking for cash flow, interest only can be a great option because you're not having to add in the principal in the payments. But you got to remember that the principal has to be paid off at some point, right? So there's likely going to be a balloon payment after the term. So just keep that in mind. You know, some people, they want to build the equity and pay down the principal, but a lot of times they're, you know, if you just want the cash flow, because sometimes you want to, if you're syndicating a deal and you have other investors involved, and the main thing is to get your investors the return they need, then interest only may be, you know, a good product for that. But eventually the principal will have to be paid, right? So anybody that has oh, go ahead, Scott.
No, I'm saying a lot of people are refining it, like say 5 years into it. But a lot of people don't hold on to it for 10 years and they're selling. But if not, you don't 10 years and then refi it at that point into a 30-year. So.
Yeah. Okay, so anybody with anything that they need, any needs, anybody do a good deed recently?
I did a good deed today. I gave somebody some information on house hacking, and they because their son recently moved to LA, so they were kind of had this idea of the deal that they might be able to do, but I had to poke some holes in there and say, hey, you're probably not gonna be able to do that because of rent control, all this other stuff, and because him and his son are a little bit, well, his son is here with some other friends. They all moved out here. And, so they do have some earning power, but they don't have those 2 years yet. So they need another year of, income. So help them out there. Sorry, I was kind of long-winded there. Sorry.
No, I love it. Because a lot of times we focus just on business, right? But like helping people and providing value and having the go-giver mentality is very important in business as well. So right on, Alex, for that. One of the good deeds that we did and we're very proud of it. We're forming a partnership with Mercy Housing, which is a nonprofit that helps support affordable housing and kids, especially in this time, kids who are supposed to be in school or this past on to go to school in LA, and we're going to be doing a little shout out and promotion with them. And if you guys are able to if you guys want to, you're welcome by all means to join us and help donate and spread the word with what Mercy Housing is doing. So we'll be putting something out shortly on that. But anybody that got some many deals, or who needs money? Everybody needs money. Oh, shame again. Everybody, shame again.
Yeah, Carolyn, go ahead. I saw you lift your fingers. Go ahead. What do you need? How much?
I always need money. I've got all kinds of things. I'll let you know.
Awesome. Yeah.
We always need new money. We're doing a new build, still been expanding. So we spoke to you before, Scott. Is it easier to do new builds if we're building 2 or 3 at a time? And we say put down the first 50 on each. That way the equity that's actually being, the security that's being offered increases. Because I know you had an issue because with us, the land is so cheap.
It depends, that would help. It depends how much rehab you're putting into it. They don't want to see if the land is at like 60 and your rehab's at 60. I could blanket them all together, but it's difficult if your rehab's equal to what your purchase is.
Right, these are new builds, so the land is, so it's basically a 90% build.
It's possible. Send me over the deal. Let me analyze. I'll get back to you right away with it, like I did last time.
Great, thanks.
If I can't do it, a quick no is as good as a quick yes. You know that. So
yeah,
I'm always available. So send it over, please.
I got a potential lead if someone might be interested. got a seller. He's looking to. He owns a house. He has a bad tenant that he can't get rid of, and so he wants to sell it in Hawaii. It's I think the tax assess is around 430. He wants to sell it for 300. But so let's look into deals for me. It was a little too tight for me to take down. So, I mean, if somebody wants to kind of like talk about it, or maybe you can take a look at it. He has I think his mortgage is 2,300, and he's got a balloon payment at the end of the year. So he's pretty motivated to get rid of it by the end of the year. And then his tenant's paying like 900, but it's he may or may not pay it like every month or something like that. So it's in Honolulu. If anybody's interested, message me, and then maybe we can. I mean, I'll give you the address, or we can talk about maybe like if you have some ideas, or if you want. I'm not sure how what are the kind of options. Someone more creative than me might have a way to kind of like help this guy out or something. So
Daniel, where is that? Sasha wanted to know. Where is it at?
Let me check real quick. It's 96819 is the zip code.
Man,
great, thank you.
I'm so proud of
Street
this
is
group.
Kamohoali'i.
Oh, sorry.
Sorry. Go ahead.
No, you go ahead, Daniel. Sorry.
No, the street is Kamohoali'i. So I mean, if you guys want more information, I mean, if you guys want someone else want to like try and figure this thing out, I mean, that's gonna. I mean, the numbers right now is a little too tight, I think, but the guy said it was in great shape before the tenant moved in. I said he had like granite countertops or something, but I mean, he said the tenant is a nightmare, so it's need something creative to figure this out for him. So, but go ahead.
So his mortgage is $2,300 a month, or that's what's left on the mortgage?
Well, that's $2,300 a month. So he's bleeding a little bit money cash flow wise. So his renter is in for 900, and he doesn't think he can refinance. So he's whatever it is, and he's got a balloon payment at the end of the year. I think December 31st. He said so. He needs to get rid of it by then. So
what's the exit strategy? Fix and flip?
Well, I mean, that's why I mean you might want to talk and figure out what would actually work. So, okay. But then I mean, but basically he's got a bad tenant, and so he can't list it on the MLS. So that's the issue.
Got it. Okay. Yeah. We'll take a look at it. I might. Yeah, we might know somebody.
Okay.
Maybe. But anybody else? I just wanted to say, like, I'm reading the chat, and I'm just so proud of it, like our group. Like Tay, Kevin's giving a shout out to Tay for hooking him up with a lender. You know, so that's awesome. And then Tristan, she needed a landscaper, and we know a great guy, young guy, Devin. I don't know if he's on the call today, but you know, he does all of our stuff. So you know, it makes me proud that, you know, we're doing deals, we're helping each other, and you know, this is working, right?
Sorry, just, you know, Dante just put out that he's able to help possibly on the bottom there with Daniel.
Oh yeah. Oh
yeah.
Right. Yeah. Dante would be the guy. Daniel.
Yeah.
You have Dante's number?
I don't know. It's on the bottom. He put it on the chat. He's on.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Perfect. Anybody else? Anybody closing deals by the end of the month?
Yeah, I'm closing on a new duplex flip here in South LA next week, and I think I can make $100,000 profit on it.
Nice. Acquisition. Oh, so that's acquisition, not disposition.
No, I'm buying it for 407, and ARV is like 650. Needs like 70, 80, maybe a little more. We'll see.
Awesome, man.
Okay. MLS from MLS.
Oh, MLS deal, right? Yep. Yeah, we're making some calls on some MLS stuff. I had the boys. I don't know if they're on the call. Let me check to see if they're on the call. But the boys who are working with us, kind of interning, we're making a bunch of MLS offers and stuff. So, all right. Okay. Well, you know what? If we have time towards the end, we'll revisit this. if anybody else has anything that they need, just kind of step in or step into the chat. But since we're moving forward, Tay, why don't we I just want to introduce Tay. She's been really committed and like loyal, always on the calls and providing value, obviously, as Kevin mentioned. So we want to return the favor, you know, and part of I don't know if everybody on the call has read the book The Go Giver, but that's how I truly try to live my life and run our businesses. And one of the rules in The Go Giver is not only giving to somebody genuinely without no expectation of anything in return, but one of the pillars is you have to be willing to receive as well. When someone is trying to genuinely give to you, you know, you should receive that, right? Because that's part of the process. So Tay's obviously been helping other people. What you're working on right now, like what is your strategies that you're focusing on and goals, and you know, we can kind of start to together dissect where we can help, you know, and this is going to be an open mic call, so everybody just, you know, as always, we're open mic, so unmute and speak up if you got, you know, something that you have to help Tay. All right, take it away, Tay.
Okay, so first of all, thank you for the awesome opportunity. So the immediate goal right now is to land my first wholesale deal. Last year, I did some lending because I had cash just sitting around and I didn't have the time to focus on real estate. So I did one lending deal at the end of last year. It went really well as far as how easy it was. And I did it with experienced investors. And they just took longer than I expected to pay me, but that wasn't really a big deal. So I got to learn a little bit of that, the lending side. So this year, I needed to get into active income, and therefore, at first I was thinking that I could get into fix and flips, but I quickly realized that I didn't have enough knowledge to really get myself into that. So I'm focusing on the wholesaling right now. So we set up a marketing budget, and that includes mainly mailers. We're targeting specific crowds, I guess, doing a lot of mailers and doing cold calls. And I'm finding that I'm actually preferring cold calls over anything, because even though it's time consuming, I get an answer way faster than sitting by the phone hoping someone calls. So yeah, those are the immediate goals, wholesale deals.
Okay, perfect. So wholesaling, you're going to focus on wholesaling. So right now you're directing your attention to marketing. So let me ask you this, I guess, so we can get more information. What I guess strategies are you utilizing? Is it just direct mail?
Okay, so we're trying to do 3 touches: direct mail, SMS, and cold call. But we tried SMS with one list. I didn't find it very good, because a lot of the numbers that we got from skip tracing weren't good. A lot of numbers were either weren't good or yeah. So and SMS limits you to obviously only cell phone numbers. So if your list has mainly landlines, then I don't know, it doesn't reach enough people to me. So anyway, we are cutting SMS out and we're doing mailers and cold calls now. So we're hoping that they get the mailer and within 2 weeks I'll call.
Awesome. Okay, that's interesting to hear, because we're the opposite. Like the SMS we have a really high response rate out here. So that's good to know. What services are you using for skip tracing and the SMS?
So we actually started it thanks to probably the first or second coffee talk from Thomas. So SMS, we're using batch leads. Yeah, batch leads for SMS and skip tracing. We're just using that platform.
Oh, okay. Okay. I don't know if Jessica's on the line. Oh, she's not. Is Tomas on the line? Tomas, no, he's not on the line either. Okay, so, well, direct mail, what is your response rate on that right now?
It's actually been pretty good. We're getting
and are you using letters
one or two calls,
cards, or what is the mail piece?
Okay, mail piece is printed letters, all computer. It's not like a handwritten letter, or it doesn't look like a handwritten letter. It's just from here, from my computer. It's typed out, and it basically says we are looking to purchase in your city, and we are writing to check if you've thought of selling now or in the near future. That's it.
Okay. Do you address them by address, by name too?
Yes. So we're getting lists either from RealFlow, because I have a subscription through them, or we hire a VA. If we're targeting a specific complex, we hire a VA to literally go on the Maui County website and give me, and just pull the list and type all that out. And then we target them. So let's see if it's a condo complex, and I'm like, we're looking to buy a condo in your complex. Have you thought of selling?
Okay. And you've been getting a decent response rate, right? I'd say
yeah, one or two calls, and these lists are maybe 100 or 200 people at the most.
Okay. The main thing that I've found is you definitely don't want it to look nice. Like if you're doing postcards or a letter, you don't want it to look nice, because it gets thrown in the trash, because it looks immediately like junk mail. Right, because that was the first mistake I made when I first started and I was marketing heavily. My postcards were glossy, we buy houses, colorful, and like I got no response rate from that, until I consulted with a mentor of mine, and he said, send me a picture of your mail piece, and I did, and he says, I know the problem. He says, it's too nice. You gotta send something ugly. So he said, here, use this, and it was a yellow postcard with a block of text with no indentations or anything, so postcards are good because they don't have to take the extra step of opening the letter. I know it sounds miscellaneous, but that does matter. But the other thing is, if the letter looks personalized, that will probably have a higher response rate and open rate than a ugly yellow postcard, so you just keep that in mind. Make sure your mail pieces aren't like super sexy, or because then it looks like all the realtor mailers that everybody gets every month anyways, right? So it goes straight to the mail or the trash. So keep that in mind for any future mailers. Like I think that was a great tip that helped me.
Awesome. Thank you.
Tell me about the cold calling. The cold calling, are you calling on a dialer? I mean, how many calls are you making a day? How are you following up? Because, that's one that needs to be continued. You got to continue to nurture the ones that do develop, and you do need to call volume.
Yes. So with my schedule, I'm able to call 30 people a day. And that's 3 days a week that I can do that. And, most of those are either bad numbers or leaving voicemails. And then a few are not selling. I think from cold calls, out of all the lists we've targeted so far, I've only received one lead, and the guy's facing foreclosure. So we're trying to move on that.
Okay. So it's more than like a sniper approach. You're not doing volume where you're actually putting the Excel list on the dialer and then calling 300, 400, 500 people a day.
No, it's like
there's two approaches. You could do the more targeted, sniper approach, and then there's a shotgun approach. So I just encourage you to explore both sides. That will take a little bit more data, and it will take a little bit more structure. I can help you with all that, but then you may be able to reach more people, because a lot of cold calling is a timing. Like you just in front of the right person at the right time, and you speed that up when you're a cold calling volume is all I'm trying to say. But both of them work. I like what you're doing, but I would suggest to also try to introduce the other more volume approach too.
Okay, so when you say more volume, would be bigger lists and maybe outsource, so I can increase the amount of calls?
Well, on a dialer, you can call 100 people in an hour. So if you have 3 hours, 2-3 hours a day to do that, then you could do it. It's very effective because you'll talk to more people, and you'll get more no's. So I have a lot of experience with cold calling. I do like that aspect of it, like being able to call, 100 people, 200 people in a given call session, and then you should be able to get like 2-3 at least decent, maybe leads or kind of follow-ups. My goal was always to call 300 to 500 a day when I was doing full-time cold calling for investment deals, and then I would try to get maybe 1 to 2 leads a day, and then that compounds over that week, 2 months. But if you're barely calling 30 people and you're not even getting a lead a day on that, it's going to take longer for you to come across that person that really does desire to sell. And I can send you an example of a good cold call too.
Okay, thank you.
Hey, Alex, this is John. Real quick, how about a buyer? How can she get a feel for eventually what a buyer may be looking for on any of these particular properties, especially if you shotgun it? How can she kind of think what a buyer might want as she comes across that stuff?
Do you mean like a cash buyer for her wholesale deal?
Yeah, maybe a cash buyer or something like that. Her end buyer, basically what they may be looking for, because that'll maybe motivate her, for lack of a better word, because she'll have a better feel. Oh, okay, that's the type of thing that a buyer is looking for in this particular area of Maui or Big Island or whatever.
Oh, I get what you're saying. Well, I think that would come down to her understanding her investor pool, what people are buying right now. So I think that's maybe a little bit of a separate subject. But yeah, absolutely. You need to target in volume potentially what these people are. All the SFRs valued under 600,000 that are absentee owner. So I also have a list, kind of a list stacking kind of document I can send you about that. What are the best filters? So that way you do get if you are going to pull a larger size list, what filters you maybe want to use for that, to be able to take that approach.
Thank you.
Perfect.
Best filters for lists. Okay. Increase.
Yeah, it's awesome because when you're first starting out, Tate, it is good to focus in, if it's direct mail, let's focus on direct mail and cold calling. If that's what's you're starting to get the phone ringing and getting interest and getting leads, focus on that. And the way I always see it is let's choose something that works. Let's find out what works, and then once we do, and we have the KPIs for that, how do we scale it then, right? So I would say that's your next step. But first, focus and so you got to do the work yourself. Take the call yourself. But eventually, the magic starts happening when you start to leverage other people's time, other people's experience and efforts, and other people's money, obviously, or resources, right? So, I guess, do you have any leads on the table right now? Any deals that you're looking at right now?
Yes, we have a very, very, very positive lead, and that one actually came from driving for dollars. So that's another thing that we do. So I work very closely with Zasha. She's on the call. She's my accountability partner, and she right now is kind of my end buyer, and I brainstorm with her about what her buying power is and her end strategies. So that's where that's how I pull my lists. So we do a lot of driving for dollars, sometimes she does it on her own, and then I'll handle the mailers and the skip tracing and the cold calling on those. So anyway, this one lead, we did driving for a dollar for a couple hours one afternoon, a couple weeks ago, sent the mailer out and got a call on Sunday. So we've been working with him all week. He seems really interested and motivated. It's like the first time that I walk into a home that is as bad as that, but yeah, so we're trying to put the fire on that, I guess. He did come down 80,000, so he was hoping to get 500, and my MAO is 400. And yeah, I met up with him, had a POF and a kind of a pre-written contract ready just in case he was ready. I let him do all of the talking, and he talked himself down on his own. So yeah, so he's got like 4 years of back taxes, or he hasn't paid taxes in 4 years. So with fees, it's almost 20 grand, just that. The house needs mainly cosmetic work. The foundation is perfect. It's a pretty big lot, corner lot. So it's a really, really good lead. I think he's just he's out of money. He just can't sustain, he's by himself living. He does have a renter downstairs, but he keeps it really low key, and he's had a lot of bad luck, it seems like, with renters. He's not very healthy, so he doesn't move around much, can't get around without help. So he inherited that home as well. He did not buy it. It's free and clear. It's under a trust. So it sounds like his mom left him that home. So, and his children are in the mainland. He wants to move there and kind of have some kind of capital to be there with them.
It sounds like he told you his whole life story, right? That's the funny thing.
Yeah.
In sales, they say, right, first one to speak loses, right? And I don't really see it that way. I see like any type of sales transaction should be mutually beneficial. And I think, but a lot of people, if you ask them the right questions and you let them speak, they will start to negotiate against themselves. And so with that one, I guess, what's the ARV?
On the low end, 650. Like in this market, 650. It's
and you're at 420 right now, right? But you need to be at 400.
Yes.
Okay, 400. What's the rental on that?
80, at least. Like 80 would bring it up to code, and yeah, it's tight. Exact. So after he told me 420, and he's still thinking about it. I came home and Zasha and I tried to kind of work the numbers if we could even go up to 415. Just because of this market. Like, honestly, those homes in that area, nice homes in that area, it's a 4-bedroom, 3-bath. In that, it's a 2-story. So in that area, it would be 750 in a regular market.
But 2-story.
It is 2-story. It is 2-story.
Okay.
So in a regular market, that would be at least 750.
What do you mean regular market?
Like not COVID market, like with.
Are you guys seeing declines in sales and pricing already?
Well, we're thinking that it's bound to happen. So we're just not aiming very high on the ARV. Comps. So I pulled the comps, a 3-bedroom, 2-bath in that very same neighborhood, like probably 2 streets down. 3-bedroom, 2-bath sold for $640 in April. So the offer came in before COVID. I'm assuming they had to commit to that. And I think the listing was at $690. They had to come down to $636 between listing it and going into contract. So yeah, so there's a little decline. It's not significant. It's not 100,000, but we don't want to hold it for long. Zasha is thinking of it as a fix and flip. We don't want to hold it for too long, especially with high interest on HMLs right now. So we're thinking a safe ARV would be 650.
It would be a nice idea if it is a sale and you want 400, he's saying 420. If you offer 410, you will get it. He just will. It's a middle ground compromise. He's already agreed at 420. Yeah. And I think you're right. The reason Corey asked what's happening with the market, I expected a slump in Q3 and a slow increasing on Q1 next year. This COVID thing is dragging on and on and on, but for some reason, peculiarly, prices are going up on the Big Island. And the realtor is going mad. So if I were you, I would say, yeah, conservative go for 650. You'll get this house at 410, but you may well end up, it's going to take, say, 3-4 months to get it, say 3 months to get it onto the market, 45-day escrow. So by the end of the year, who knows what could happen. But I think 650 is a safe bet, but I wouldn't be surprised if you're going to go up from that. But you'll get it.
Yeah.
The main thing is he's motivated, it sounds like, right? So like there's something can be worked out there. He has a problem, and our job as the investor is to be the solution and find the middle ground, right? And the thing is, with the more experience and the more deals you do, you know, just like the JV partnership, I posted in the Facebook group if you guys haven't seen. But that's just another strategy that you can, you know, look at a deal that way, right? So it's like, you know, it's very uncertain where the market's going to go. I'm, especially in Hawaii, I'm thinking it may not hold up eventually, but it might be a slow burn, you know? So like Jim said, like if you can get in and out in 4 to 6 months or something, then that might be, you know, it might be worth going for, but you just have to remember that it's going to be, you know, you might be coming to market in the middle of the holiday season, right? Which is typically slower anyways. So just got to remember that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would say like, think about the worst case. And if your worst case isn't that bad, then that's your decision whether, you know, it's always, I mean, it comes down to the fundamentals. Like I mentioned last call, is like, what's your risk and what's your return? And is the return worth the risk, right? So, well, let me ask you this then, Tay. What's your, I guess, what's your plan? Like, what's the roadmap to financial freedom and being able to just kick back and work because you want to work? Is it doing equity deals first?
Okay,
and then move into cash flow?
Yes. So I did my 10-year plan, broke it down to 5 years. And yeah, so 10-year, 5-year, 1-year plan. The ultimate goal of 10 years is to own rental properties. And the road to get there is I need to work on being a good borrower, I guess, to be able to do a lot of BRRRRs. So I want to I want to position myself to be a good borrower, and so that's to increase income and increase credit, which this is really what I'm working on right now. And that's why I want to build capital right now through wholesales and eventually BRRRR.
Got it. Okay, so from wholesaling to doing some BRRRRs, right? Okay. Guys, am I coming in okay? Like I keep getting notified like my connection's unstable, so
probably every 5 minutes you slow down and then you're back on.
It's working. That's just Corey, but no, it's actually breaking up a little bit.
Okay. Yeah. Sorry, guys. I apologize for that. Maybe I gotta take this from the home office. Take these calls from the home office. Anyways, Hey, what would you say is like your biggest need, and where can we help? What is your biggest need, and where can we help you? Is it resources? If so, what type of resources? And is it support, more accountability? What is your biggest need right now to get you to the next level?
One of the biggest things right now would be to learn more on the construction side. I feel like I would be faster at making offers and estimating repairs if I knew more of the construction side. That's a big one for me. And then more training and resources. Because I love learning and reading. So yeah, so I wrote stuff down, but that's kind of what I wrote
here's
down.
a podcast I recommend. I don't know if you're listening to it already, but Sean Terry's Flip to Freedom podcast.
Okay.
He's really good. He focuses primarily on wholesaling. He's easy to listen to, and has a lot of great strategies. So he was actually the guy who was my mentor when I was needed his advice, and he's the one who told me about the mailer. It was too pretty.
Okay.
So Sean, listen to him. He has great resources. And what was the second thing you said? Oh, construction costs, right?
Yeah.
Do you have contractors out there in Maui?
Yeah, I have a few friends and some acquaintances, yes.
Okay, this is my suggestion, and before I'll open it up to whoever. I know there's people on here that can help with that. I would say, you definitely want to take bids as much as you can, and ask. And even though you're focusing on wholesaling, it doesn't hurt to go out and try to interview, some general contractors or subcontractors, right? So, because you can also bring them business as a wholesaler, right? So it's worth their time to talk to you and, and help you as well, understand like the cost of each line item and stuff. The other thing too is going down to like Home Depot or Lowe's and just looking at the prices for the materials. How much per square foot is, the flooring that you may or may not want to use, depending, on the price, or the tile and the fixtures, all the finish items, because that's something you can do. It's just going to take some time, right? And then it's not a rule or anything, but it's kind of, I know here in Honolulu, it's roughly like twice, like if it's $2.50 a square foot for flooring, and the labor might be about $2.52, so it might be $5 a square foot.
Okay.
I don't know if that's how it is in Maui, so I wouldn't take that as a something to use. But at least if you know the cost of the materials, then how much the general contractor or your subcontractor is marking up for their labor, right? Mm-hmm. Does anybody else have anything to say to help Te on the estimating costs? Because that is very important for a wholesaler to
I can. We're on the Big Island and we work in Puna, which is probably the cheapest part of the Big Island, which makes it the cheapest part in the Hawaiian Islands. What I can do, I'll just check with the boss, my wife, and we can send you the spreadsheet of the complete breakdown that we did for our new build in Puna. So it's a brand new property, so we can send you the spreadsheet that shows the labor and also the materials. Now, it equates to about $112, $115 a square foot here. Double it if you're in Kona, quadruple it if you're going to Honolulu. But what it does do, the cost of the materials are probably going to be pretty much the same because they come from the same source. And we all purchase from HPM or Honsador. The only difference is going to be the labor. So you can use that as a template on the simple homes that we build and run with that as you like. That's what we use. We're not expert builders, but every week that goes by that we talk to our contractors and call up fencing guys and get shouted at because we're trying to they think we're undercutting them, we're learning. So we're more than happy to send it over to you.
Thank you, Jim.
That's awesome, Jim. Thank you. That's a huge resource.
And also, if you're looking to wholesaling on the Big Island, let us know.
Yeah, thank you.
Nice. Okay. Does anybody else have anything that they can say or help with Tay? I'm opening it up for the group to help her, get to the next level. So the first part is getting the first deal, right? And the first deal sometimes is the hardest one. But once you get the first one, there's something about it where the magic starts to happen and you start to ride some momentum, right? So like we want to, make sure that we get Tay into her first deal. And who knows, maybe this one that you're talking to right now might be the first one, right? So
yeah.
I know there's a lot of wholesalers on the call. So if you guys have any tips or resources to help Tay and you're willing to share, then please let us know in the chat or just unmute and speak up. Keone is good at finding deals. I know you kind of came in mid-call and first thing you say is my hair causing my internet disruption. Thank you for that, bro.
Yeah, I think I just wanted to add, and I would say congratulations to right way to keep the grind. Just keep on it. My biggest thing I would say, like to lock in your first deal, is that for everybody is that I know it's itchy. It gets a little frustrating as far as like wanting to lock it up, but just trust your numbers. Like it's a big pond. I know sometimes it might be a little dry, you think, but don't rush into one and try and make the numbers work. That's my biggest thing, and a lot of people unfortunately make that mistake. And I definitely don't want your first deal to be the last deal, especially when you're like grinding so hard. So just trust the numbers. I think you had gave the numbers where I think you had said 400 for that one. I think it was 650 ARV. I didn't quite. I jumped in later, so I don't know what your rehab was. What you had pegged that at.
80. Rehab would be 80.
Okay. And then you're running everything high as well, as far as like your holding time. What are you at, 6 or 8 months?
We're hoping that by listing at 650, we'll get into contract really fast. So 650 is really low.
Okay, that's the conservative part. That's the conservative side. Nice.
Yeah. The repairs on the home, like, I don't think it'll take more than 2 months because there's no foundation. Like the biggest item is the roof, which looks like it. I mean, usually it's done in 1 day, take out and put them back in, like 1-2 days maximum. And the rest is cosmetics, like paint, floors.
And you already have contractors already lined up already that you've actually been able to bring out?
No, not for this property. I've spoken to contractors on other properties before that I was interested in.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, I jumped in late, but I did catch that part. So I just wanted to make sure that for a lot of times when I talk to people who are like, getting their deals, it's just that trust your numbers and try not to like fudge those numbers, try and make it work. Don't force those numbers. Make sure that you leave yourself a lot of wiggle room and buffer in there.
Thank you.
Let me, I want to add some stuff here about the, estimating the rehab and everything, and a little bit about some of it has already been said, but I learned a lot too, like Corey said, about like going to Home Depot, going to Lowe's and really looking at the prices. But also a couple of deals that I did were joint ventures with somebody that was an expert rehabber, or at least, they were very, very knowledgeable. And so we went 50-50 on the deal. They put up the money and they also managed the rehab. So I found a great deal. that worked out for me because I was able to learn the whole time, and we had, you know, mutually aligned interests the entire time. And so I would recommend that you also, in the future, maybe consider doing something like that. And then regarding this particular deal, I also would recommend that you speak to a contractor or somebody that you do trust, but see, because these people sometimes are busy, but they also have to understand that, you know, part of analyzing that deal is that rehab number. And if you can get somebody to go with you to these appointments, like I have, you know, independent contractors, people that are, you know, that have that knowledge base that can manage a project potentially, and they know they're going to manage that project and get paid potentially for doing that. Well, they're going to go out there with me and help me analyze it same time, because sometimes you can make a more aggressive offer at the appointment because two of you are there. One of you is taking the picture and analyzing the rehab, and then you are talking to the homeowner, building that report, trying to get that deal locked up, and it's like a team effort, and that helps lock up the deal right there and then, compared to coming back later and then or not getting that deal at all. And then, you know, if you have an inspection clause, maybe you lock it up at the 420, and then you go back later and look at it and really analyze the scope of work and say, hey, no, we need to reduce this 10 grand, and then the deal you get it at 410. But you did get the contract. So just having somebody that you can trust to go with you, some of these high level appointments, because these are high stakes appointments, are they not? Like you were talking about 20, 30, 40, 50, $100,000 paydays on these deals. Well, you know, work the team. That's worked for me as well. Just kind of having that dual person go with me and do that. And they might not be a contractor. Maybe they're just somebody that you recruit to bring on with you. I mean, just again, there's so many ways we can do this business. So I would, you know, encourage you to try to do that as well.
Thank you. That's awesome.
Great. Yeah. And before you jump off, you know, after like check the chat, because there's a lot of recommendations in the chat. You know, someone said, yeah, Home Depot does have like a material list, you know, pricing and stuff. So just check the chat before you head off. And one thing for, because like the inside, right? So sorry, I never know when I'm paused, but you're on the acquisition side when you're wholesaling.
Yes.
So you want the key is deal flow. That's your job. Find deals. That's your job. Lock them up, and you know, and then wholesale them out. So with that said, for me, the biggest key to deal flow is actually not marketing. Marketing is very important to get deals. But the key to deal flow, consistent, sustainable deal flow, where your pipeline is never dry, is relationships, right? So, and that means that everybody that you know should know that you're looking for homeowners who are distressed or properties that are distressed that you can help purchase, right? So everybody should know that. And even though you're just starting out, you know a lot more than 95% of the people out there. Okay, so just know that, because anybody that does have interest in getting in this business, you can help teach them the strategies that you're utilizing, and in return, they go out and help you find, you know, drive for dollars, because driving for dollars list is a high quality list, because you know that the asset is distressed, right? So you want to leverage other people's time, build relationships, give them value, and then, you know, obviously compensation, you know, to a certain extent if you close the deal, and then value in a sense of helping to teach them strategies. But everybody can drive. Everybody's stuck in traffic. They can write down addresses if they see, you know, distressed properties. So if you get a list of 1,000 driving for dollar, you know, addresses, and you skip trace those, that there's money in that list, you know, somewhere, because somebody's paying property taxes on that property that's vacant and really bad, in bad shape. And if you come to them with money, like, you know, unless, you know, there's some sentimental reason for that property, but like there's usually motivation to sell, right? And that's a high quality list. And if you can leverage other people, right, some up and coming investors or aspiring investors, then and help teach them, utilize that, because that's the key to deal flow. And I kind of mentioned this on the BP podcast, but it's like that. What is that called? Metaphor? I don't know if it's a metaphor. Or is it that story of like the guy? There's two guys who are kind of tasked with fetching water at the top of this hill to bring back to the town to sell the water, you know, to the town. And one guy just focused on lugging his buckets, you know, every day. And of course he got paid every day consistently, right? While the other guy spent his time digging a trench to one day tap into the well, and then all the water would be his, right? So marketing is like lugging buckets, right? The moment you stop marketing, your deal flow shuts off, right? But it works. It's, you know, if you market, it's a numbers game. You're gonna get deals. You're gonna make a lot of money. But the moment you stop, that's when your deal flow shuts off. The real key to deal flow is building relationships and building that pipeline. It takes a lot longer, but once you have it, you know, it doesn't shut off, right? So I say focus on both. While you're marketing, you know, start building relationships, finding people that may be interested in coming on your team as like a bird dog, and all they have to do is drive, you know, find addresses or ride bike or whatever, you know, and you'll pay them for that and you'll give them value for that. So that's just my last suggestion to you. And does anybody else have anything to say to Tay to help her out? All right. Well, Tay, hopefully there's value in this for you. And obviously, like, just because, you know, you're have the spotlight today, like we got your back. You know, everybody on this call, you know, is here to help you. So, and then, you know, always the Facebook group in there. So if you need anything, you know, reach out. No shame.
Yeah. Thank you, everyone.
Well, hopefully too, if there's people on the call that's kind of in the same position as Tay, and hopefully you got something out of it as well. And feel free to reach out to Tay. You know, we all need accountability too. Like, it's awesome that Zasha is your accountability partner. That's a great accountability partner to have. So, thumbs up to you, and we got your back, and wish you best of luck. Okay. Any final
Thank
words?
you. Just thank you.
Awesome.
Thank you, everyone. This was really insightful. I appreciate it.
Perfect. Well, thanks everybody for helping out with Tay. I think we'll try to, like, this was great for me to have this segment as a tester. I knew it was going to kind of run long because I had a bunch of questions that I was kind of brainstorming to try to see what information we can get from you, Tay, so we can help you further. But next week, you know, we'll probably have another guest on, but I want to try to do this again and condense it to like some real key questions, and then we'll just fire away, you know, try to keep it like 10, 15, maybe 20 minutes, where we can just plug it into every call, and then we'll just be very efficient. We'll just get straight to the point. You know, what do you need? What type of resources? Where are you at? You know, what's your goals? Type of thing. So hopefully we can try to squeeze it in to every call. So if anybody else, you know, wants to, and thank you, Tay, for volunteering, by the way. You know, like, I know it's hard when everybody's kind of looking at you and dissecting, but I think thank you for that, because I think it could really help you out. But if there's anybody else on the call that wants to be, for next week, do a segment, it'll be a lot shorter, and we'll just have some key questions to help you. But put it in the chat or reach out to us offline or through the Facebook group, and then we'll set you up for next week. Okay, and then it could be anything. It doesn't matter what level you're at either, because you know, on this call, you know, a lot of them don't talk, but there's a lot of investors who are, it's not just all of us trying to find our way around this. There's a lot of smart people on this call and a lot of resources. So, and we all have strong networks. So there's no problem, I feel, that we cannot solve together. Okay. Well,
love the hair.
Thank you so much, everybody, again, for jumping on.
Everybody's voting for your hair, okay?
I don't know. Ashley set up a haircut appointment for me at like 6:30, so it's coming. I think it's coming off. I gotta go talk to the boss.
I had a quick
She's counting it
question.
down. Oh boy. But thank you, Alex. Hey, Zasha.
Hey, Alex, what dialer do you use?
I Call Fire. I think it's called like Phone Burner now, because I have an older account. But yeah, I'm happy to talk to you about that offline, about the dialer stuff, because I dialed on the dialer for like almost a year for my first mentor, and I got a lot of deals cold calling, so I got some tips and tricks. Yeah.
Perfect. Thank you.
Awesome. Well, that wraps it up for the call today, guys. And as usual, I kind of hang out for, a little while after to just talk story. And so feel free to stay and we can chit chat, open it up to everybody and just, help each other and talk story. But other than that, we'll see you guys next week. And then if you need anything, then put it in the Facebook group and let's get going and close some deals. You guys have a great week, great weekend. If you're in Hawaii, stay safe.
Mahalo.
Storm coming.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you so much, everybody.
Yeah, thank you. I have to call that seller. We're trying to get into contract today.
Yeah, call him.
So yeah, because he called me yesterday to kind of give me an update and tell me he's still thinking about it, which I've never, in the past, I've never had like interested sellers call me, like reach back before
Right.
I would even like reach out again. So
It's always exciting when you get the first motivated seller. Huh?
Yeah.
Hey, you can
Sorry, I
mute
just got
the call, and then if you need help while we're on the line, just jump back in.
Yeah. All good, all good.
Negotiating with 40 people.
I know.
Right? All the tips coming at once.
Yeah. Everybody on the Keiko team, like they're, they can close that one for you if you need them.
Thank you, guys.
Absolutely.
Hey, Joss.
Yeah.
Joss, can you cut the recording?
Yeah.